If it's fanfare for the common man, we know it's Friday morning at 10 o'clock, and you're listening to Office Hours with DJ Doc V. Thanks for tuning in. It is Friday, October 27th, 10:03 in the AM, and in the beautiful Upper Valley, it is, it's 66 degrees in Westport, Massachusetts. 82 degrees in the beautiful Upper Rio Grande Valley in Edinburgh, Texas. We're broadcasting live from the UTRGV Edinburgh campus, as we do every Friday. Got some great music picked out for you today, including, we got some REO Speedwagon. I'll take you back to the 80s on that one. Some Queen and David Bowie. You know what song that's going to be. And as we do every week on Office Hours, I've got a great poem picked out for you from Gallery Magazine, the 2023 edition, another fine production of UTRGV student media. At the bottom of the hour, we'll do This Day in History. We got a couple of really interesting stories about American Revolution time, as well as a sports story from 1986. Where were you on October 27th in 1986? Maybe you say, I wasn't even alive yet. Fair enough. But we will talk about a couple of things that happened in history on this day, not just in 1986, but also 1776. So we're going to go way back for you. Let's get back to the music. We're going to start off with a double shot here. I want you to picture yourself on October 2nd, 1984. Let's say you're, 14 years old or so. You thought it would be a good idea to go see one of your favorite bands live in concert, but you didn't occur to you to invite someone else to go along, or how you were going to get there, especially since the concert venue was about an hour and a half drive from your house, maybe closer to 2 hours. But, when you really, really like a band and you're willing to sacrifice and you're willing to beg your parents, please let me go to this show. It's my favorite band of all time. And you get in there, and there's always an opening band, right? In this case, it's the band Helix. You go, oh, Helix, I don't know, I haven't really heard about them. They had a kind of a semi-hit in the 80s, ROCK, Rock You it was called. But you're really waiting for that headliner. And so Helix finishes their set, and they go, and they're switching around the stage, and you see the drum set with the album cover art on the big kick drum there. You see keyboards moved up to the front. You see a bunch of guitars, including some double-necked guitars coming forward. And you wait, and you're really psyched, anxious. Let's say you're about row, 23 on the floor or so. And, you're a shrimp. You're barely high school age. And all of a sudden, the hall goes dark, and these white spotlights that are focused directly on you and the rest of the crowd that's on the floor, that basically blind you, and then you get an audio assault with one of the greatest songs that could ever be used to open up a concert. We're going to do a double shot of Rush. This first one is called The Spirit of Radio, only on Vaquero Radio, the Valley's student station. It's Joan Jett and the Runaways with Cherry Bomb. Before that, you heard a double shot of Rush. Started off that set with The Spirit of Radio. And then the 10th song on the set list was Distant Early Warning from their Grace Under Pressure LP. This is the 1984 Rush set list from it says September 30th. I thought it was October. Spirit of Radio, that's what they opened with. They followed it up with Subdivisions, The Body Electric, The Enemy Within, The Weapon, Witch Hunt, New World Man, Between the Wheels, Red Barchetta, Distant Early Warning, Red Sector A, Closer to the Heart, which of course from their Farewell to Kings, LP. Kid Gloves, YYZ, that's that instrumental tune. If you haven't heard that one, I immediately go out and listen to it. To the Temples of Syrinx, 2112 Part 2, Tom Sawyer, and then their encore was Red Lenses with the 10-minute Neil Peart drum solo, Vital Signs, and then they closed out the show with Finding My Way and In the Mood from their debut LP. So, good morning, Vaqueros, DJ Doc V. It's 10:22 on Friday, October 27th, and it's 83 degrees in the upper Rio Grande Valley. We're looking for a high today of about 92, for tomorrow, Saturday, a high of 93, as well as a high of 93 on Sunday. But it looks like we got some cooler weather pulling in here. On Monday, a 61% chance of showers and a high of only 65? Am I reading this correctly? 65. Do you see this weather report? Look at this. 65 degrees on Monday? Oh my gosh. I am loving it. 56 on Tuesday. Oh, no. Oh my goodness. Someone alert the media. Wait, we are the media, aren't we? Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. So I'm looking forward to the weather here in the Rio Grande Valley coming up the next few days. So that'll be nice. But for now, let's get back to the music. You don't want to hear what I like, what kind of weather I like. I know we got people listening all over the country. You got my buddy. Shout out to my friend Steve in Spokane. What did he say? It's 28 degrees out there. Sorry, brother. Seth up in Oklahoma City. My friend Chef Bill out on the East Coast. In Westport, Mass, where that looks like some nice weather out there, Bill. Let's see, 67 in Westport with partly cloudy, mostly sunny skies. That sounds awesome. So, but let's get back to the music. Here's a song by Roxy Music. Brian Ferry led this group. This one's called Love is the Drug from Roxy Music. And you're only going to hear this on Vaquero Radio, the Valley's student station. REO Speedwagon with Keep On Loving You from the 1980 record High Infidelity. It was the first REO Speedwagon single to break the top 50 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, reaching the number one spot for 1 week in March of 1981. The single was certified platinum for U.S. sales of over 1 million copies. It peaked at number 7 on the UK singles chart. Keep On Lovin' You has been a mainstay on 80s soft rock compilations and has appeared on dozens of various artists' compilation albums, as well as several REO Speedwagon greatest hits albums. A pretty interesting story about this song. Kevin Cronin, the lead singer and piano player, guitarist for REO Speedwagon, said that he wrote the song as a more traditional love ballad, and the band as a whole developed it into its final arrangement as a power ballad. He brought the song, started playing it on the piano, and people are like, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you playing?" He says, "This is a great song," and they said, "This isn't a REO Speedwagon song." He goes, "Hey, I'm the lead lyricist and songwriter, so if I wrote it, then it is an REO Speedwagon song." So, but originally it was done as more like a regular ballad, a traditional ballad, love ballad. But Gary Rickrath, who was the guitarist, immediately, this kind of happens when you have good chemistry as artists. He went over and listened to the melody, plugged in his guitar, and before you know it, they had power chords, and you could call this one a power ballad. So great song. And interestingly enough, another piece of trivia here for you. In 1981, a video of the song was the 17th played on the first day of broadcast of MTV on August 1st, 1981. It was framed by a scene of Kevin Cronin talking about his relationship troubles with a female psychiatrist and contained a shot where a woman picked up a telephone connected to Gary Rickrath's guitar, referencing the live version of 157 Riverside Avenue. So really interesting. Before that, you heard Gone, 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 which is the collaboration between Led Zeppelin's lead singer Robert Plant and a bluegrass artist, Alison Krauss. We started off that set with Love is the Drug from Roxy Music. As we do every week on Office Hours, here's This Day in History. And in 1986, in the wee hours of the morning, the Red Sox first baseman Bill Buckner lets an easy ground ball dribble between his legs and roll down the right field line. It was a routine fielding error, but it was a disaster for the Boston Red Sox. The 10th inning of the 6th game of the World Series, they were playing my New York Mets, and I was in upstate New York on the campus of State University of New York College at Cortland watching this game. And when that ball went through Bill Buckner's legs, the campus erupted because it was the saving grace for the Mets, who ended up going on to win that series in 1986, providing further, anecdotal evidence that the Boston Red Sox were cursed. They